We've seen several businesses looted and infrastructure destroyed for days now during the unrest that's currently taking place in the country. Now, some of the looters were quoted as saying that businesses would bounce back easily because they were insured. To discuss whether this is actually true, as well as the impact of the riot damage on insurance cover, I'm joined now by Mr. Cedric Masondo, who is Managing Director at the South African Special Risk Insurance Association. Ndade Masondo, thank you very much for your time today. I wonder, have you started receiving claims from affected businesses?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me in the show. Yes, we have received claims from Saturday, and we've also appointed loss adjusters to go to the scene and assess the damages.
And talking about assessing of the damages, how are these claims going to be assessed? What goes into looking at whether or not a claim will be paid or not?
Yeah, so I think it's simple. We treat it as a normal claim. So just to clarify, these are claims that are covered by SASRA. They are not covered by a normal insurance company because they have an exclusion of this. These claims are paid by SASRA. So when you assess a claim, you look whether it's covered, you look whether the buildings or the content or whatever was included in the schedule, and whether the premium was paid, and then you assess whether how much is the cost of repairing or replacing. Of course, for a small claim like a windscreen, that's easier. But for a bigger claim where there's destruction, it takes a little bit longer because you need to make sure that you are compensating the client adequately.
So talk to us. You mentioned two different types of insurances, and do business owners automatically subscribe to SASRA or not?
No, it's not automatic. So you have to request it, and it has to be added in your policy. So your broker or your insurance company will normally advise you that the normal policy does not include damages caused by acts of riot or terrorism, and then they will add it into the policy. So, but for most clients, it's quite a seamless process because it's included under one policy. But for client, you have to make sure that it is included. If it's not included, it means that you will not be paid by SASRA for your damage.
So if someone is actually not covered, by you, what does that mean for them and their business and their loss?
It means that they can't recover the money from insurance companies. They cannot recover money from us. They cannot recover money from any other insurance companies. It's one of those sad cases, especially for small businesses in township that they don't have SASRA or they don't buy insurance. So, and out of this, there will be a lot of people that cannot recover the cost of their damages from insurance companies.
And what exactly does SASRA cover? Which eventualities?
So SASRA covers damages caused by acts of riots. It can be either political, it can be non-political, and it can also be act of violence through the labor strike if there's strikes and damages occur in the property. And it also can be terrorism. We also do cover properties. So we cover cars, we cover buildings, we cover contents, we cover goods in transit.
So in a situation where, for example, a shop might have been torched and all the inventory that they had also was stolen and looted, how much of that are you actually going to be replacing? Is it 100%?
Yeah, so of course we have limits. So our policy covers up to 500 million pay the client, but the client also have an option to buy another 1 billion. So if you bought the full 1.5 billion, so and your shop was damaged and looted, and the cost of the building was 1.5, we'll pay you the full 1.5 billion. But it depends on how much you've put in your schedule. But also depends on the loss limit. We work on the loss limit basis.
And what is the turnaround time if a person launches a claim now? When is that likely to be paid out?
So for small claims like windscreen claims, it's quite quick and because there's not much what needs to be done. So we've also had discussion with our sales as through insurance companies with our insurance companies, other insurance companies, that they can, in some cases, they're prepared to pay those claims and get SASRA to reimburse them. But for big claims, and you can imagine some of the malls being banned, so this will take a couple of months because we also need to assess and just to repair and pay and just pay. And it's quite a lot. It's quite a process.
Mr. Masondo, thank you very much for your time and that update. Not good news for business owners who don't have that special risk insurance there. And even if you do have it, but if your claim is sizably large, it may take a few months for you to even be paid out, which means a few months of no income. So just because one has insurance does not necessarily mean that they've got that special risk insurance, which then leaves some businesses, especially small businesses, out in the cold. I certainly hope that so many of them are covered so that they're able to get themselves back up on their feet again.